Hello, this is Michael Christopher. Fortunately, I gotta give an update before I continue because, I'm doing some things where it could be taken as a little crazy if not understood. So I wanted to explain to the internet, unfortunately, that I'm gonna have to destroy this house. Okay, I started to destroy it. I'm gonna finish up after I get off from here, and how long it takes me, I don't know. But I've been manipulated. All right, been manipulated, and it's been going on for a long time, very long time. I'm being set up to be a domestic terrorist, to be something that I'm not. Alright, I've made mistakes like I said in previous videos, and it is what it is, but at this point I need to share with you this very important information because I've now confirmed about my family, and it kills me to say that are the people that I called my family. Alright? See, the people that growing up I love with all my heart up until a little while ago, and it's very hard for me to say that. It's very hard for me to come to terms with it, that these people aren't going to be in my life anymore because of, and that'll be my choice because all the craziness that has been confirmed. Okay, it goes very deep into the state. As far as government, that has yet to be confirmed, but I wouldn't be surprised. Alright, recap, I got kicked out of the military, and ever since then I feel like the government has at least been watching me, keeping an eye on me, making sure I'm doing the right thing. And, and unfortunately, sometimes, a lot of the times, maybe I didn't do the best job I could have done. But this all came to pretty much a point at Hanwha Aerospace where people surrounded me were just, since the get-go, working against me. Okay, there's one guy who I appreciated, Derek Whitley. He's a boxer out of Springfield, Connecticut. That guy, even though he might have known something, always treated me right. Always treated me right and with respect, and we joked, laughed, had a good time. Alright? I got nothing against him, but a lot of the other people there make me, things that I've had to deal with make me believe that at least the state's involved here. Okay? Hanwha Aerospace. I want you to, that's a company out of South Korea that's been relocating. The place I was at, they have a place in Cheshire where I was at, is East Windsor, Connecticut. Alright, there was a lot going on, people I dealt with there that really, because I've been keeping track, I need to start naming names. Take note of these names yourself and do your own research, so, first one is Ron Desky, out of Enfield, Connecticut. Alright, this was a guy who came in on September 18th, the same day of my accident. Okay, same day of my accident. And he knows a little something about that. I feel, like I said, I felt as poisoned. Worked with 2 EMTs. They could have gave me something. Because these were 2 EMTs that I come to find out were guys that I never talked to. Always, it's kind of the thing, I keep my head down, you keep your head down. I tried, but they were very quick to just walk away, so I just kind of roll with it. But Ron Desky here, on April 14th, I had to go to HR. Around April 14th, I had to go to HR because I've been harassed, bullied, a lot of stuff between this guy, but it got to a point where he started stalking me around the building, And then that was followed by a couple days later, a guy named Kevin from Enfield, Connecticut. There's a lot of people involved here from Enfield, Connecticut, at Hanwha that we're tying into my past relationship with Angela Arnold. I think she's Angela Kennedy now. I'm not sure if there's a relation to the Kennedys. I don't know. But they've been manipulating me. Because there was two brothers, Paul Loretta and Joel Loretta, out of Enfield, Connecticut, who Paul Loretta's ex-wife was friends with Paul Loretta's ex-wife was a sister of a guy named Jesse T. West, who worked with Angela Arnold. All right. It sounds crazy, but if you were to pay attention to all this information I'm going to be giving you, then it'll all start to add up. So I'd encourage you to write this down and kind of come along to the journey with me, and hopefully I can survive to tell it all. So, yeah, another person that's involved, a very big person, are the Nearys. The Nearys, Julie Neary is one I worked with Hanwha Aerospace. But there's a connection as far as where they lived, okay? Benjamin Way in South Windsor, Connecticut. And I'll tell you about that in a little bit. Alright. A couple of the weird thing that happened to me after I got fired. Well, they say I got fired. I went to HR because I was voicing my concerns about safety. Some guy tried to hit me with a car, which of course they couldn't find the video for. And they couldn't find the video of Ron Desky, going around the building. They got no. That's been the scenario in a lot of these cases. They can't find the video. But when it comes to me, they'll have that video. I know, and I've done things wrong, and I could have acted better. But I feel like I've been manipulated, and I hope I get to tell my story. Alright, so this is a very big part of the story, which if you're following me, you're going to want to write these names down and do your own research. Because it was weird, very weird. Pretty much right when I got let off, I go to my parents, up until a little while ago, I was very close with my parents. They're turning out, what people need to realize is there's people right now looking out for them and theirs. There's a lot of money involved in real estate, and this and that, and people with health issues. There's people involved with the health department, with hospitals, stuff like that. On high ends, there's people involved with money, Roth, so here we go. It all came to a head on Friday. The Friday before Easter Sunday. I go over to my parents. I'm a little stressed out. I got all my stuff on me. I did bring all my phone. I've had to have multiple phones. Brought my computer with me so I could start doing my own research on Hanwha Aerospace, but it's turned into something else now. Started doing my own research, okay? All of a sudden, we start getting all these random calls, They're trying to set it up like I'm crazy and he's schizophrenic or overthinking, but I've been keeping a record of these things, okay? I've been keeping a record, and the record don't lie. And if the right people were to check unfortunately, I believe it's, at this point, the state of Connecticut. I haven't confirmed the federal government. I am a Republican. I was a Republican. I voted for Trump. And I still believe in Trump. And I hope people realize that I'm in a Democratic state, in a family with 3 strong women who are Democrats. All right? It's not that you need to know, but in the future that'll become very important. So on this Friday, all sorts of stuff was happening, you know, phone calls. I was a little bit, you know, I had a lot of anxiety. That's one thing I do suffer from sometimes is anxiety. But all of a sudden, someone starts taking pictures from the phone line with a phone across the street. And I go out there, and at this point, I'm trying to be respectful. I tell them, who do you work for? And they say, oh, it was Leidos taking pictures of property. You know, it could have been someone else. I was told it was Leidos, Leidos. I'd encourage everyone to check that out, because it would make sense why, after coming from a big-time company like Electric Boat, or a big-time company that's involved with government work, you'll understand why Leidos rings a bell. Alright, so on this Friday, after that interaction with this person taking pictures across the street, I'm a little on edge. I'm on high alert, you know. And I'm going to make sure I keep these videos to 15 minutes for upload purposes, and I know it's a lot of stuff here, and I know I don't want people, to get lost in it all, because I've been getting lost in all this stuff too, and it's a lot, but just know I'm not crazy. Alright, so it really got weird, and this all took a turn because I had one pair of underpants. I didn't go prepared to my parents that day. I had one pair of underwear I was wearing, and another pair that I was going to bring. That I was going to use after that. I was going upstairs at a time. All of a sudden, I see these three kids up there, all right? And they were looking a little fishy by the bathroom. You got one of them looking back over his shoulder. You got the other one right next to him looking in the bathroom. Then you got someone in the bathroom. This someone in the bathroom was Leah Lacey, her name is. Which, she's related to Hillary Dutton. That's a very important name. Write that name down and research that name. Hillary Dutton. Okay? She works for Orchid. And I'm going to explain this because this is very important. Orchid is a free, this is their own description right off their website, and it'll make a lot of sense as everything, if you were to add everything up. Orchid is a free, unique, persistent identifier for individuals to use as they engage in research, scholarship, innovation, and activities. Company trait: distinguish yourself and claim credit for your work no matter how many people have your name. Alright, that'll come into play, unfortunately, with things I've done in the past and how I've been manipulated. And I'll tell about that when it comes. But right now, I needed to tell you that name, Hillary Dutton, who's related to Leah Lacey, or at least related to the same address in Benjamin Way, South Windsor, as the Nearys, which I worked with Julie Neary. So from here, I was researching this girl who I never really liked. One reason I really didn't like her is because I had an uncle, Larry Atwood, a great guy, my kind of guy. He passed away, and of course, it's weird how all this stuff works. Of course, at his wake, this girl shows up. But one thing I noticed, she wasn't wearing any underpants. The only reason I found this out is because when I first got out of the car to go help my Dave out at the trunk to grab some flowers to bring into the funeral home, the door was opening. The back door was opening from the passenger side, and instinctually, when there's some kind of movement, you look back. And I saw she was wearing no underpants, and it pissed me off quite a bit. And I mentioned it to my sister. I mentioned it to Diane Annunziata. I mentioned it to my mom, Pauline. I mentioned it to a few people. All right, that's the main reason. I understand how people could dress up all in a nice tight short skirt with no underwear. It made no sense to me. All right, to continue with these names related to this girl, okay? Brian Dutton, and these are things, CRO of Assured Data Protection out of, I think it was Virginia, Arlington, Virginia, I believe. He's involved with the Rubik's Backup, Disaster Recovery, M365 Backup Matters. That's another huge part of this story. Not for me, but just as far as how this thing's been set up. All right, he was a teacher in the prison in the past. I haven't been able to confirm anything, but I'm pretty sure he worked with another guy I worked with, Dan Russell. 16 minutes right now. I'm going to cut this off, and I'll continue on the next one. Thank you.